Hi, I'm Ted, and this is Little Red. Little Red has a tire repair kit. Do you need this thing? What does it do and how does it do it? I'm going to show you. So the repair kit comes with a set of instructions, the user's guide. So inside your kit is your compressor. It's really all it is, except it also has a canister of sealant in there. Then you've got the clear hose up top. You've got the two settings for putting sealant in versus just airing up your tire, a pressure gauge, your on-off switch for both your sealant and your compressor. On the bottom side, you've got your black hose, which is just for your compressor, and then your electrical power cord. Can you tell if a tire needs to be serviced just by looking at it? Probably not. Obviously, if it's flat, that's one thing. If it's low, then you need a good pressure gauge to be sure. Because your tire pressure monitor system has a built-in limit. If you think your tire is low, but you don't want to drive it so you can read your reading on your screen in there, just check it with a gauge. Take your cap off, put your gauge on here. You want to push it right straight on. If you're off to the side a little bit, you're leaking air, that's wrong. It needs to be straight on. By the way, that wasn't much of a loss, so don't panic if you do that. Push it right straight on, and then you'll get an accurate reading. Then you just read the numbers. This one's reading 41, 42 PSI. That's about what I was reading on my screen last time I drove it. Here's how you plug it in. Go to your console, open the lid. Got to pull out your little tray. Then you take your plug. You're going to lift up this little door right here, open this little door to the side, and plug that baby in. Push it all the way in. It should have a little bit of a click to it. That means you're in. That should be fine. One thing I also noticed about this thing is it's not always powered. So if you don't have your phone right there with you or something else is going on, it might not be powered. So if your tire is just low, you're going to use the black hose, which is coiled up down here at the bottom. All you do is undo your valve cap. Try not to lose it. Put this on, thread it on. Best way to do that is hold it with one hand and thread it on with the other, because you want it to go on there straight. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of air leak out. No big deal, just tighten it snug. You don't have to have a wrench or anything. Then you're going to just turn the machine on and air it up. You also have a pressure gauge here, so right away you can tell how much pressure you have. Compare that with the gauge that you already used. I like to check multiple times. Make sure you're in the tire pump setting, because you don't want to squirt fluid in here if you don't have to. As you're airing it up, watch your gauge, get it up to what would be considered a reasonable number, probably about 40 PSI or so. Call it good. The instruction manual tells you don't run this pump for more than 20 minutes. To me, that's one of those obvious things. However, you could overheat the pump. But 20 minutes is way too long. If you got it running for 20 minutes, then you probably have a big leak. After you get it aired up where you want, just undo it. Once again, a little bit of air will come out. No big deal. Put your cap back on. You need that. So the worst case scenario is you're stuck somewhere and you don't have anybody nearby, you're far away, and you know you have a pretty big leak, and maybe you can even see something in the tire. That's when you would use the other part of this tool, which is the sealant. The sealant comes out the clear hose. So you're going to select this setting over here. Make sure that's clicked in place. Put this on the same way you did with the other one, and then you're going to turn it on, and it's going to air up your tire in addition to squirting that sealant inside there. If the sealant fixes it, seals off your tire, now you're holding pressure, you basically saved the day. Time to go. The book will tell you don't drive it more than about 186 miles at most before you get to a repair facility. Yeah, that's highly recommended that you take it in somewhere and tell them what you did. Don't be surprised to find out they're going to tell you need a new tire because it's been improperly repaired. But that's the only choice you had at the time. That's why I recommend you only do this in certain situations when you're far out away from any kind of service. And this is what I mean by limitations in the system. You're not going to get a reading here until you've driven the car, because those switches are centrifugal. They need to be rotated before they'll start registering up here. So if you come out to go somewhere and you suspect you have a low tire, that's why you need a gauge or use your compressor with the gauge on there. This is what I carry in my vehicle when I go for a road trip. Tire repair kit, which fits down in this little cubby. Some rags, some gloves, because you're going to get dirty if you're messing with a tire. The emergency plug kit, if I really don't have any other options. And 4 hockey pucks. What? Hockey pucks? Yeah, that's covered in my other video on how this vehicle should be lifted. I've worked at a couple of different facilities where we repaired tires on a regular basis. That's why I recommend having one, because it gives you a couple extra options that you wouldn't otherwise have.